Welcome to Gardening with Ben, your go-to podcast for all things green and growing in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned gardener, a budding enthusiast, or just curious about cultivating your own slice of nature, you're in the right place. Join me, Ben, as we explore practical tips, inspiring stories, and the latest trends in gardening to make your outdoor space bloom with life. From allotment adventures to wildlife-friendly gardening, I'm here to help you grow your passion and reap the rewards. So grab your gloves, roll up your sleeves, and let's get started on this year's gardening journey. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Gardening with Ben. Well, happy Friday. It is finally Friday. And it seems funny me saying this because I'm recording it on Sunday. But happy Friday, everybody. And I hope that you're all looking forward to the weekend. Well, it's the last day of January. Finally, it's the end of the month. January is the month that keeps on giving. It seems to last forever and ever, and I know obviously everybody has that problem with getting paid early before Christmas, which is nice, but then you've got to make it last forever throughout January. But it's finally the end of the month, and hopefully we will be turning a corner soon and heading towards springtime, which will soon be upon us in March. So yeah, what have we accomplished in January? This is where we talk about our good things and our bad things of the month. Well, have we done a lot down at the allotment? Yes, we have. And no, we haven't. We feel like we've done a lot, but we haven't done loads, to be honest, but we have. Make up your mind, Ben. Have you? How haven't you? But yeah, we have had a good month down in January. Obviously, we've had the snow, which put off us for a few times, but we have managed to get lots done. And in January, we worked on tidying all my shed up and sorting out some shelving in it and sorting my pots out, getting all those sorted and really giving it a good tidy up and clearing it all ready for the month ahead, because come March time, my greenhouse will be absolutely full to busting with seeds, what we have sown, because that's when I sow all my seeds, in March time. Obviously, we'll be talking about what seeds you can grow in February tomorrow, but I don't do that. I tend to wait till March time because it's still quite cold where we are, and I obviously want it to be warmer in my greenhouse. It's not a heated greenhouse, so we need to wait for the warmer weather for it to germinate the seeds. So we've done that. We've also done a lot of tidying up in my polytunnel, as I've not used my polytunnel much for the last couple of years, but this year we are bringing it back into action. Yes, we are bringing the polytunnel back into full potential and getting it used. We've stopped growing our tomatoes in the polytunnel now. We grow those outdoors as they seem to do better, and you don't have to water them as often because the ground stays damper than it would do in a bucket of compost. So we grow our tomatoes outside. That's cherry ones. The bigger ones you would need to grow into a greenhouse because they need a lot more sun to make them riper. So big ones will grow indoors if we are growing any this year. And obviously my cucumbers, I grew about 3 in my polytunnel this year, and I had about 15 plants outside, what I got spare plants left over, and the ones outside did fantastic. They did so much better than the ones in the polytunnel, which is hard to believe, but yes, they did. So I'm going to grow my cucumbers outside from now on. If they're doing that well, I might as well carry on doing them like that. And again, they won't need as much water because the ground stays wet, and if it rains, it waters them, which is a bonus. But why are we fetching the polytunnel back into action, you might say? We are going to be growing peppers in there, and we're going to be growing melons in there. And you're probably saying, well, why don't you grow those outside? But them two things need more sunlight and more heat. So that is the reason why we're fetching the polytunnel back into action this year. So we've got it all tidied out and ready for them to grow, which we'll talk about in another episode. So I'm excited to be growing in the polytunnel again. Obviously, it'll mean I need to go down there often and keep things watered. but it encourages me to get out and about and visit the plot more, which I'm looking forward to. And we did a few repairs to the shed because we've had a few bad storms. The roof blew off some of it, so we had to repair that, but I only did like a bodge up job because my dad said to me that he is going to help me take all the roof off and start from scratch and make a better roof, which the roof's probably been on for about 10 years now, and it's perspex and it's pretty strong, but it's starting to go brittle a bit now, so when the wind comes it just snaps it now. So it's time for a replacement. It's done its job and it's time for a fresh new roof, and hopefully we're going to make it waterproof as well, because when I'm in there there's drips coming through where all the screws are because I've not done it right. I've not like capped it off, I've not waterproofed them, so it keeps getting me wet when it's raining in there. So hopefully we're going to make it a bit more waterproof and use stronger plastic as well. Obviously we've started looking on Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace is a brilliant place if you're wanting to look for cheap stuff or free stuff, as a lot of people just post on there to get rid of stuff. So if you're looking at doing work to your allotment or sheds or greenhouses, have a look on Facebook Marketplace and you'll possibly be able to find some good bargains. So that is what we're going to be doing soon when it gets a bit nicer. Obviously we can't be doing it when it's absolutely chucking it down and cold and freezing, because we don't want to be doing that. So yeah, we've not done much weeding in January. We've not done anything outside as it's been too cold, the ground's been too hard, and all the weeds don't seem to be growing much at the moment. So we might turn all the beds over in February. That might be one of our jobs that we do in that month. But yeah, overall, January has been a pretty decent month. And obviously we're starting to do more content on YouTube. We're getting more videos out there, and we're going to film loads this year, loads of videos for you to watch. And obviously we're getting more and more content out on our Facebook page for you to read and share and digest. So I hope that you found that useful. So yeah, I'm happy that I've been down to my allotment in January. Years ago, I never used to go down to my plot in January. I used to finish off my plot at end of October, then not go back down to the allotment until March time, and I'd be rushing at the last minute to be getting everything tidied, cleaned up and ready for the months ahead. So I tend to carry on now throughout the winter period so that I've got all these jobs done and I can concentrate on growing my seeds throughout the March period, because when I start sowing my seeds in March, it's going to be a lot of work. I'll obviously need to sow them all and then keep them all water, and then we have to prick them all out and pot them up individually, and yeah, it takes a lot of work. So that is the reason why I continue doing all my work throughout October through to February, because you can get a lot of stuff done. And it's not necessarily just digging over, it's like tidying up and getting it all clean and ready for the year ahead. So yeah, January has been a successful month down at the allotment. Hopefully we'll get lots done in February. I'm looking forward to it. Obviously the spring bulbs and everything will start popping through now and start showing the heads, and hopefully start fetching some spring colour down at the allotment, because that's what I want. I want to see all the crocuses out, I want to see the daffodils out. I'm looking forward to the hyacinth smells when you walk onto the allotment. So yeah, I'm excited for the springtime, and I'm sure you are all too. So tomorrow's episode, we'll be back with a new podcast, and it will be talking about all the things that you can sow in February. Like I said, most things I won't be starting until March time, but it's there just as a guide for anybody that's interested. And obviously it all depends on the temperature in your area that you live in as well. So thanks for listening to today's podcast, everyone. As always, remember, keep smiling, keep shining, and keep gardening with Ben, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of Gardening with Ben. I hope you've enjoyed our chat and picked up some tips to help your garden and allotment thrive. Don't forget to stay connected with me on all social media for even more gardening inspiration, updates and behind the scenes content. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram and YouTube, just search Gardening with Ben. Hit that follow button or subscribe button and join our growing community of garden lovers. Until next time everyone, remember, keep smiling, keep shining and keep gardening with Ben.